What is going on, bro? Welcome to another video on the Honda. In today's video I'm going to show you something that I believe every Honda Civic from the 90s needs it. Some of you could have already done it. I'm not sure how many of you have. I don't think a lot. But in today's video we are going to be not only changing all the lights in the car to LEDs, like the reverse lights, the park lights and the interior light, but also the dash lights, so the cluster as well as the center console. I'll show you guys that in a minute. But these just came in a package from Mr. Aiden from LEDs or Us. He supplied us with LEDs when I had the Renault, and I was extremely happy with the quality and his service. So when I bought this car, I immediately got in contact with him and we just had to get some LEDs for this car. Again, his quality is superb. This car already has a LED light in the interior, this dome light, whatever you want to call it. But I'm going to show you guys the difference between what Aiden sends us and whatever. I don't know, I bought the car with that, so it's probably like a Chinese globe or whatever. I'm going to show you guys the difference. I promise you, you will be stoked. I already put the park lights in. Let me show you what the park lights looks like. Then you'll be able to get an idea. Remember, these lights are on. This is just the park lights in the headlights. As you can see, it's only the park lights. Just look at what these look like, and it's also still light outside, guys. But look at that, it is absolutely amazing. So the lights will be changing in today's video. Will be, oh shush. So we'll be doing all of these. I know a lot of people changed the two that's up here, but we are also going to change literally every single globe on this cluster. The two up here shines on the needles, but the one on this side is out. I can't see the RPM at night. I promise you, these looks a lot better on camera than it does in person. In person you can't see anything on this cluster. I don't know if I'm spoiled with modern cars, but you can't see anything. And then apart from that, we will also be doing all of these. I'm not sure if we are going to be doing this one. So you guys check what this dome light looks like. At the moment, this is basically, you can't even see that it lights up the interior. So I'm gonna switch the overhead lights on. Then we'll replace the dome light. This is literally a night and day difference. Just look at that. Now you can actually see the light. That is so much better. Next up, I'm going to do the reverse lights, and then we'll get to the interior lights. I kind of want to leave them for last. Okay, so for the reverse lights, they're completely stock. These are the normal globes. Okay, so that's the stock one, and then this is the LED one. It looks a lot better. Gives the car more of a 2020 vibe than a 1980 vibe. And just like that, we have both the LEDs in. Absolutely loving this. And then, like I said, next up we are going to be changing these. This is more what I can see at night. You can barely see anything. So let's take the cluster apart and get them swapped out. I hope you got a good look of this, because this will be the last time you see this. Okay, we got the cluster out. I definitely think the screen needs a polish. I will remove it completely, make sure to blow out in there in case there's any dust, and then this will get a polish afterwards for sure. It definitely needs it, you can see in the light there. But the globes that we'll be changing is here on the back side actually. So I must just check my quantities. I think I ordered enough globes to replace literally every globe in here. So that would mean even these small globes up there, like the check engine light and the flickers and the fuel light, literally everything. Okay, so all the LEDs are in, all of them is working. The next step that I'm going to do is I'm going to open up this cluster and remove the orange or the amber dials. Literally everything is orange or amber. I'm going to remove that. This step I would not recommend to amateurs. If you are not good with DIY, I don't suggest that you do this step. So we'll pop the glass off. That's going to be the first thing. There's a few clips around here to take off. So I'll probably polish this while it's off. I'm not sure if I'll be doing the inside. I think inside we can just give it a good wipe. I'm going to put this in the car so it does not scratch up any further. Alright, so for this bit, this should also only be this black cover. It should only be a cover that you'll be able to pop off. I think we might have to, yeah, we're gonna have to remove these two globes up top, which we'll do now, like that, and then we can continue to pop this off. Once again, if you're not good with DIYs, please guys, do not attempt this. You will make a mess. And no, I don't do this for other people. I only do this for myself on my own projects. So if you wanted to change this to whatever clusters you get, I'm not too clued up on the clusters, Mugen, Type R, whatever. This is the section where you'll start changing these back plates and stuff. You need to be extremely careful if you do this. You can't move these needles. I guess you can, but I would not suggest that you do. Trust me, I've done this on the Polo before. This is... You actually don't want to mess with this type of stuff. Just trust me when I tell you this. Okay, so for the next party trick, this is where the amber part comes in. I don't know how much I'll be able to show you on camera, but if you do that, you can see that the dials are amber. Basically, those sections. So what I'm going to do is I'll use acetone to clean that off. So it'll just be a white strip. That, in theory, that should make your gauges white. This is for automatic cars, park, reverse, neutral, whatever. So we're just going to work on that side. We won't be removing the needles whatsoever. Just a heads up, if you get acetone on the front, on those dials, you will mess them up. There's no two ways about it. You need to be working at the back. I'm going to do this one, see how it comes out, and then we can do the others. There's only one way to do these things. I'm going to put this over there. Then I'll use acetone and some earbuds, and we'll clean it up and see what it looks like when we are done. For those of you who still don't get what we are going to do now, as you can see, the globes is white, it's white LEDs, but it shines orange through the cluster. Once again guys, if you get the acetone on the front, the paint is going to be off. This black, everything you see there is going to be off. So we are going to strip that bit there. Hope it makes sense. Alright, this was the last one. Basically, when you're done, this is what it should look like. A quick way to gauge is you can just hold it into the light and you'll be able to see if everything is cleaned up. So you can see that I've done a good job. I cleaned up the 1000 RPM per minute as well. So now we can put it back. Once again, do not let this acetone touch the front, please guys. Get this as clean as possible, the back, so there shines as much light as possible through. Next up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it back and then I'll put it in the car. Before we actually close it up, I'm going to polish that screen that I showed you earlier. I have had a sneak peek to see what it looks like, and it looks phenomenal. I can't wait to show you guys. I'm gonna put this one back, then I'll show you how I polish the screen. Okay, we got the 1" on, got some polish on. This is the least aggressive pad with the least aggressive polish that I have. Let's start polishing and see how good we can get it. For good measure, there's a before. It looks terrible. Pretty sure we'll be able to get it a lot better than that. The screen is all polished up. This is what it looks like. It's far from perfect, but I'm extremely happy with the outcome. It looks a million times better. These lights of mine would not do it any justice. Like I said, the screen is not perfect, but you must remember, when it's in the car, we're not flashing it like this under the lights. When it's in the car, you'll see it like that. So yeah, it looks a lot better. I'm extremely happy with how it came out. It's currently day 2 on the cluster. I had to open this all up again because there were some hotspots. If you guys don't know what hotspots is, I'll drop a picture and show you what's the hotspots. I'll circle them. Basically, the hotspots is where the LEDs shine too bright on the cluster and then the rest of it looks kinda dull or muted. So what I did to combat that was I put some foil over all of the LEDs to make it disperse the light better. I cut up a piece of paper, then I wrapped that up in the foil, and then I used my glue gun to actually glue it to the LED. So basically all of these going onto the cluster will disperse the light back.
3 days later.
Next up, I'm going to dismantle the dashboard so we can get to these lights. I'm only going to change these. I'm not really going to change these ones. As you know, the car does not have aircon, so I'm not going to be phased about those ones. I'm going to see if I can do the clock and this. I don't know what all I need to take out, but I'll just start stripping. I think the glove box needs to come out and a couple of things here. Not gonna lie, removing this center console piece was tough. I had to strip the dashboard on both sides, that side and that side. It was definitely not easy, but if any of you guys want to do it, I'll have the DIY link that I used down in the description box below this video. You guys can go and check it out. Do this on your own at your own risk. I followed that guy's instructions and that's how I got it out, so it works perfectly fine. You just need to have patience and a lot of time in your hands to remove this. One thing that I realized, there's two globes there, so we might not end up having to solder anything on, because like I mentioned to you guys, I won't be doing all of these buttons because the car does not have aircon, so I only want to do this backlight, and I suspect that's those two globes. I will however open up the clock and see if we can get that to white, because otherwise that's the only thing that's going to be left orange. We got lucky, boys. That's where those two globes replaced, so there's absolutely no need for us to open up this thing and solder any LEDs on. I'm extremely happy with that. Just wanted to let you guys know that the clock, we won't be able to change that. Let me show you why. This LCD actually shows green, and then once you pop this cover on, it becomes brown. You can actually see the tint there. So that's what it looks like. So I'm just going to pop that back. We won't be able to change that. I don't know if if anyone knows how you can change that, please let me know in the comments down below, but that's not going to be a project for today. Another thing I did while assembling the dashboard and cleaning everything was cleaning all the overspray off the dash. I am very stoked with how that came out. It came out literally perfect. It's one of the things that annoyed me most about the car. When I went to look at the car, it was the biggest turn off for me was the overspray on the interior, but I'm extremely happy with how it came out. One thing that I was thinking was interior panels can be replaced. I can get another Civic or a written off car or whatever and replace interior panels, but bodywork that does not line up and that's full of body putty and that stuff, there's not much you can do to that. So the interior on this car, like I mentioned before, is the biggest letdown, and I'm extremely happy with the way it's turning out. It cleaned up so nicely. I only cleaned the dashboard. We still need to do the carpets and all of that. I still need to give it a proper detail, but for now I'm extremely happy with how the dashboard turned out. By the way guys, this is some of the new merch that you can be expecting. Merch drop will probably be in a week or so. I'm still debating on the date because we are waiting for shirts and I believe one hoodie. So as soon as that comes in, we can start advertising the merch, but this is one of them that you can be expecting to be dropping. There's two different caps and then shirts. I believe we are doing 4 shirts, 4 or 5 shirts, I can't remember at the top of my head now, and then 1 hoodie. So be ready for that. Start putting some money aside. It's not going to be expensive, but put some money aside because numbers will be limited. As always, I need to pay out of my pocket for the merch, so I've only got that much money to buy merch for a start. We can always increase the numbers as it goes, like I mentioned before, but for now it is going to be very limited still. If any of you are looking for automotive lighting, check out LEDs or us. I'll have the details in the description box below. Once again, thanks to Aiden for sending these out to us. It changed the car completely. It feels like a brand new car. Literally, it does not feel like a 90s car anymore once you switch these lights on at night. So if any of you need any lighting, check out LEDs or us. I would highly suggest that you buy from them. The service that you're getting from Aiden is top shelf. His products are very, very high standard or high quality products. It's literally the best, and his pricing is not bad at all. I promise you guys. I'm not gonna say what I paid for this, but his pricing is extremely good. I can promise you that. So that's going to be it for this video, bro. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out and reflect your passion.